I didn't know it at the time, but the cheapest place I ever lived would end up costing me my peace. I first moved to Pennsylvania because I simply couldn't afford the cost of living in the DMV anymore. Rent kept going up, bills kept stacking, and no matter how hard I worked, it felt like I was falling behind. So my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, and I packed up what we had and moved in with her parents while we tried to figure things out. I bounced around a few different careers, trying to find something that actually paid well, but nothing stuck. That's when it hit me. If I wanted a real shot at better-paying jobs, I needed to go back to college. So, we decided to move closer to campus. We ended up heading to the southern part of the city, an area known for its vibrant bar scene, packed with nightlife and college students. Perfect, I thought, for a fresh start. We found a small township about half a mile south of the main strip of bars and moved into a two-bedroom house tucked away on a narrow side street. It wasn't really a street, it was more like an alley with houses squeezed along it. From the outside, the place looked rough. Rusty chain-link fence, peeling paint, definitely seen better days. But it had a detached garage, and the inside had been completely renovated. New floors, fresh walls, modern kitchen. And then there was the rent. It was $1,000 cheaper than a one-bedroom apartment back where we came from. Looking back, that should have been my first red flag. Not long after we moved in, I was outside mowing the lawn when one of my neighbors walked by. He stopped, introduced himself, and asked the usual questions. My name, where I was from, how I liked the neighborhood so far. Everything felt normal, until he smiled and said, "Welcome to Afghanistan." I laughed and asked him what he meant. He just said, "You'll see," and kept walking. A couple nights later, I found out exactly what he meant. I woke up to screaming outside, an intense argument between a man and a woman. That kind of thing was already becoming common, so at first I didn't think much of it. The yelling went on for about 30 minutes before everything suddenly went quiet. 5 minutes passed. Then, out of nowhere, several loud bangs echoed through the street. I heard the man screaming, telling the woman to come back and not to run. My heart started racing. I rushed to the window and looked outside. The porch of the house across the street was on fire, and standing out front was the man, holding his pew-pew. Turns out the woman was his girlfriend, and she had just found out he was cheating. In a rage, she decided to light his porch on fire, with his kids still inside the house. Furious about the fire and completely unhinged, he came outside and started pew-pewing at her, screaming that she better come back so he could unalive her. That was the moment it hit me. I didn't belong there. And the wild part, that was just the beginning.